we have some drama going on in Chicago Med right now for Archer and Lennox. You
We
know,
do.
I'm curious how much they talked to you about where this arc was going before you started playing it, or how much you've been discovering it episode by episode.
I mean, I don't really know where that particular storyline will be heading. I think it's also, while the writers have a clear idea, I think it does evolve depending on how, what kind of chemistry we have and how we deal with each other back and forth, the characters, I mean, and maybe the actors too. I think they were definitely interested in throwing that potential grenade into his relationship, into his life by creating Lennox, who's equally strong and equally perhaps troubled. We're not exactly sure. And while she comes across as just an obstacle and a pain in his side, we will learn that she has a backstory that explains why. And once that occurs, the audience who see her in many ways as a villain will cease to think that. It's the same trajectory with Archer when he started. He was really despised. But as soon as the writers felt ready to expose, like crack him open and let some light through, that's when he became more of an interesting character, and so Lennox will follow that same path, I think.
For you as an actor, when you found out that he was going to have a co kind of boss, were you like, what does this actually mean for my job? Or did they kind of give you kind of any guidance where that particular element of the story was going?
Well, as an actor, and I don't care who you speak to, uh, they will all tell you that any moment, any role, any day could be their last. And the one of the arguably interesting things about Wolf World is that they've had a lot of actors on these shows, and the shows are ongoing. So it's like being on a train. The train is in motion, and sometimes there's a new crew, and then sometimes people fall off, sometimes people are kicked off, sometimes people stay there. And that's really a kind of a tortured metaphor for an actor's life anyway. Again, no matter how long they've been around, and I've been around a while, no matter how successful they may be, employment is precarious. So once the idea that somebody was going to come in to challenge Archer's authority, you immediately think like, oh God, no, no. And then I have to remember, wait, it's just a script. It's just a show. It's not really happening, and it's drama. As it happens, Sarah Ramos is so fantastic and so much fun to play with, and she really gets into it too. That it creates a real creative tension on the set, of which she isn't like that at all in real life. And so yeah, it could be a little threatening for a moment until you remember, A, I'm lucky as hell. B, I'm not really a doctor. C, neither is she, so it's okay. It's the way things go.
The promos have kind of teased that it seems like things are coming to a head between them in episodes airing this week. What can you tease about how bad things get for the two of them?
I'll just say that the UFC is looking for a death match for both of them. That's all I'll say. An octagon.
There's been an assault on a doctor already this season, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
You've seen the way in her opening episode, she jams a guy's leg into place that's been dislocated with an audible crackle. She's formidable. Okay, she's as one of the characters looks on, a badass. She observes. So no, I look. I think again the writers set up something that you think know what's going to happen, but it turns out to be something else, something even more engaging than just a feud or just a conflict. That's the beauty of the writing of Chicago Med. You think a lot of you get led down these little primrose paths, only to find out that it's something else is going on. It's a bit of a distraction. It's a bit of a indirect path to something even more interesting.
At this point, who does he think his biggest allies are in the hospital, given the fracture of everything?
Always Hannah. I mean, always. I think Dean and Hannah have really developed kind of a great relationship, you know, and again, people immediately thought, oh, they're going to get together. No, this is something that's deeper than that. That's not soapy. There's a fellowship found in vulnerability and trust that is hard for these two people in particular, him most notably. So she's definitely, and also she's definitely an ally, and also Ms. Goodwin is definitely an ally. And you know, for all their kind of crotchety back and forth, grudging respect, Oliver Platt's character, uh, Dean has had to learn to accept Dr. Charles as an essential tool in the hospital, not just some kind of airy fairy. Oh, he's a shrink who needs that crap. He's starting from his own evolution to understand the necessity of having that particular tool and the people who wield it with responsibility.